Sunday, October 18, 2020, we're back. Welcome to LCJ Live. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you're doing well. More than halfway through the month of October, almost into the final 2 months of the year. We were off last week because I didn't have enough power, strength, internet signal to broadcast LCJ Live last week. Because here in upstate New York, we had, on Wednesday, the 7th, we had what is called a derecho. And a derecho is a nasty windstorm. And it came through here basically out of nowhere, producing winds of 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 miles an hour in some places. We got it here at about 89 miles an hour. It was unbelievable. And so it knocked out power and it knocked out internet for 4 days. And we hadn't had a derecho in the capital region in, 25 years. They're saying 25 years since the last derecho hit the capital region. So that was pretty crazy. So we're back here now for LCJ Live, and there's a lot going on in the world of entertainment and movies and shows and pop culture and a lot of things happening. I do want to get to, as you might see here, a Charlie Brown controversy. ABC has not yet decided if and when they're going to air Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. We will get into that here on LCJ Live. Plus the box office. Honest Thief with $3.7 million. War with Grandpa, another $2.5 million. The Tenet money, I believe, is still yet to be announced. But Honest Thief is your #1 movie in America with Liam Neeson back in action, $3.7 million. I'm a little underwhelmed with Honest Thief. I watched it about a week and a half ago. Not my favorite Liam Neeson action thriller by any means. But hey, New York movie theaters, indoor cinemas are going to be opening in the upstate regions where I am, starting this Friday, the 23rd. And Governor Cuomo made this announcement, and it's a great decision. Finally, I've been waiting for him to make this decision for quite a while. I was thinking it was going to be the day after Labor Day. That's really when I thought he was going to decide this and say, let's open the indoor theaters, finally. But he waited a little longer than he should have, but we're finally getting the indoor movie theaters. What's up, NP Spider 1? Thanks for being here on LCJ Live. So the indoor movie theaters, I hope to see some films in the capital region, in upstate New York, at an indoor movie theater. Now, the Regals are closed because Regal decided about a week and a half ago, we're going to shut all our doors except for 7 theaters in California. But we used to be a Regal-dominated town, but we are also heavy into Bowtie Cinemas. We have several Bowtie Cinemas locations. We have a Landmark Theaters. Landmark took over an iconic multiplex here back in 2015. Everybody was scared. Oh my gosh, they're going to change everything. This theater called the Spectrum. Everything's going to change, but they didn't. All they did was they cleaned the place up. They put their logo in front of the movies. They changed the online ticketing a little bit, and that's it. That's all they did. They kept the iconic marquee out front. They didn't mess with anything else. And so it's been a great relationship the last 4.5, 5 years. And I think they'll be open soon, hopefully. And it's going to be 25% capacity or 50 seats max, whichever comes first. So some of these rooms at the Spectrum only hold about 50, 60 people. So you get about 15, 20 seats total, but that's still better than zero. And these theaters will be making money. The question is, who will come out and see these movies? Will it be older people? Will it be younger people? I still don't think families will, which is why, even though DreamWorks is putting out Crude's New Age in theaters and Thanksgiving, I still think the smart play, and even though The War with Grandpa is making some money, I still think the smart play is to send family films to VOD and streaming. That's just my gut feeling there, though The War with Grandpa is making some money. But will older people come out and see films like Tenet, Trial of the Chicago 7's in some theaters. On the Rocks is in some theaters ahead of its Apple debut this Friday. I have seen On the Rocks with Bill Murray and Rashida Jones. My rapid review of that is coming tomorrow. So who's going to show up to the theaters? Who's going to pay the money to see these films on the big screen? Honest Thief, or even some of these smaller ones. Love and Monsters is in some theaters. Who will go see them? That is the question. But the capital region is excited and thrilled, finally, after 7 months to the day after these theaters here shut their doors, Governor Cuomo announces that they will be reopened. 5 months. It'll be 5 months and 1 day after most drive-ins here in upstate New York were able to open and have one of their best seasons ever. May 22, October 23, 5 months. March 17 was the first day all these theaters closed their doors. And then October 17, he makes the announcement. Interesting, right on the days. So yeah, I think studios, and I hope studios take advantage of New York having their theaters open and everywhere above New York City, which that's going to take some time for New York City theaters to still be open. But I hope some of these mid-level and smaller movies do get a lot of play here in New York over the next several weeks. I'm looking forward to seeing some films maybe in some indoor theaters again. Tonight, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire returns. I want to show you this. This is a pin that says, "We love TV ABC." That is an ABC pin, ABC. I remember when they used to have this kind of yellow background when they promoted a lot of things, and that was during the original run of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire when they did the enhanced TV at-home game with Regis. Regis was a part of that, so I remember that. So we've got Millionaire back again tonight, Jimmy Kimmel Season 2, and somebody, apparently this season, a celebrity wins $1 million, and it will be interesting to see who that celebrity is. I want to show you this. Tim Allen's show, Last Man Standing, is going to be ending after 9 seasons on Fox this coming spring. They're going to do one more season. It was 6 years on ABC. 3 on Fox now, counting the one that'll be starting up. And I want to show you this. This is a pencil of Home Improvement. Now, this was Tim Allen's show in the 90s for ABC. And what's so cool about this pencil, not only does it say, Home Improvement, just fix it, Buena Vista Television, but the pencil is a hammer. It is so cool for tool time. I love this. It's great. The eraser is there. It is a hammer. That's the shape. It is so cool. So this is a little bit from the LCJ archives pre-LCJ. I like to take things out of the LCJ archives and show you a little bit of what I got, and that's something from the LCJ archives pre-LCJ. If you were looking forward to watching The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror tonight, well, you're going to be disappointed. I've got my jack-o'-lantern here, because Halloween is now less than 2 weeks away. When we're back here in 2 weeks on LCJ Live, we'll be back next Sunday, but 2 weeks, it'll be Sunday, November 1st. And that is now going to be probably when The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror special airs, and all the Halloween specials of the Animation Domination shows on Fox. They were supposed to air tonight, but the caveat was if the NLCS series went to 7 games, that Fox was going to simulcast Game 7 along with it being on FS1. And that's what happened. And we didn't find out until last night, but the Dodgers and the Braves are tied 3 apiece, and that has forced the animated shows off the air. And now, for the first time in about 10 years, The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode will air after Halloween, which it used to be the case. Back in the first several years, it was before Halloween. Then they got into a pattern where not only would the Treehouse of Horror episode air after Halloween, it would kick off the season of The Simpsons, believe it or not, in November. Then they got into a period for about 10 years where they would air it before Halloween, and now, because of baseball, The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror is going to probably air Sunday, November the 1st. What do you think of how Cuomo has dealt with the theaters? I talked a little bit about this a few moments ago here on LCJ Live, but I think he waited too long, and thinking, now that the drive-ins are going to have to close because of weather, people will need to go to the indoor theaters. That shouldn't have been the thought process, but he's not a movie guy. He doesn't understand the movie business. He's doing all he can, dealing with a bunch of other stuff, but at least they're finally going to be open, which is great. Now, I want to get to this Charlie Brown controversy, which I mentioned here off the top on LCJ Live. It's The Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, from my lifetime, has aired on ABC at least twice before Halloween. But now, here it is, October the 18th, and ABC has not announced whether it's even going to air once. In fact, if you go on DirecTV, you go to the schedule, you go certain days, there are only 2 days left as of now, October 30 and 31, where ABC could air Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. And all the rest of the days leading up to that, they got other shows. They got Bachelorette and the game shows, including tonight with Millionaire, which is also going to have a Regis tribute, which should be very nice. And the Bachelorette, Dancing with the Stars, and the presidential debate, which is coming up. And some other, Emergency Call and The Con, and some of these other wacky shows they came up with just to fill time. But yet, I said this months ago, these are the following things that are going to save you. Number 1, the presidential debates, because they take nights. Number 2, game shows. You got them in the can, they're going to help save you. And number 3, one of them, animated holiday specials. Animated holiday specials are going to save the networks this season because that's content that they don't need to produce that's new. They have it. And so the fact that they're not taking advantage of that out of the gate leads me to question a couple things. Number 1, does ABC still have the rights to the Peanuts specials? Or did Apple take over when Apple decided, yeah, we're doing the Snoopy in Space show and the new Snoopy show coming this February? Is there some rights change? Are they forgetting about Charlie Brown, which I think would be insane, because it always does really well. So could we not see this and then not the Thanksgiving one and not the Christmas one? And what about all the other animated holiday specials to come? Yeah, what's going to happen? The other thing that's going to save the networks is sports, and that's what's happening with Fox, with football and baseball right now. ABC had it with basketball, NBC had it with hockey, and CBS putting some of these games in football games in prime time as well has been helping them out very much. Where in the end they didn't need to throw in old episodes of One Day at a Time that no one is watching, or Star Trek Discovery that no one is watching. But it's such an unpredictable, fluid time. I just hope that Charlie Brown still airs, because it's a reason for families to gather around all these animated holiday specials. Rudolph, Shrek the Halls, even. And, some of the modern ones, some of the older ones. Frosty, The Grinch. Keep going, keep going. There are reasons for families to gather around the TV and watch something for 30 minutes or an hour during what will be the most difficult holiday season probably most of the country, most of the world has had in their lifetime. So I hope the networks don't forget about them. I really hope so. XXX, hot mess, 3 more X's. If they forgot about Charlie Brown, that's it. I'm done with this life. It is crazy. I mean, I've posted this on Facebook and Twitter already, and especially Facebook. The response has been anger, frustration, confusion. I'm still confused. I've reached out to a couple TV contacts, including my friend and colleague Rob Owen, who writes for television, and he writes about television for several outlets, and he's looking into it. He's got some contacts at ABC. He's going to look into this. What is the problem? What are they waiting for? And what is happening? I don't understand it. But I could be posting something in 2 days once the October 30 and 31 schedules come out through DirecTV and ABC releasing things, and say, look, it's not even on the schedule. It's just not there. And people will go crazy. The people on Facebook have already gone crazy. I could see this becoming a story. And I just want to be the one out there first and say, look, this is what's happening, and let's get to the bottom of it. I'll use my tool-time hammer pencil if I have to. Malk Money is here on LCJ Live with me right now. Do you think we need to rethink COVID regulations? Well, look, I say wearing a mask is important. You're at a drive-in. If you're outside your car, if you're at these drive-ins, you got to wear a mask. Wearing the mask in the theater, I think is still a good idea. If you're eating, obviously, you got to take it off. But I wore my mask the whole time in Tenet. You just sit there. You don't touch anything else. You don't touch your face. You just leave it, and you just watch the movie, and you leave. There's nothing to it. Wear the mask if you're at a movie theater. Do it. I was down in Chatham yesterday at the historic Crandall Theater, which normally I'd be going to the Film Columbia Festival right now, one of the big upstate New York film festivals, screening a bunch of big award season contenders. I like using this now. This is my tool-time home improvement pencil from the 90s. This is great. Normally I'd be going to this festival and seeing these films, but the Crandall Theater's been shut down for 7 months, and the festival was pulled a few months ago, but there were still a ton of people down there in a zone, in a street, and in an area that required you to wear masks around, and people were wearing their masks, they were social distancing, they were still eating in appropriate places and doing things, but also helping out local businesses on what was a very nice Saturday. Going to the shops, going to the restaurants, going to the stores. There's a DVD store down there, the Video Visions. It's an actual DVD rental store. Still doing very well, even during this difficult time, which is great. DJ Rachopo, I'm surprised that Charlie Brown specials haven't been put on a streaming service. I think you can rent them on Prime Video. I think you can. But as far as like exclusivity, yeah, I guess in this day and age. But again, up until last year, they at least do very well for ABC, so they keep them. So yeah, again, there's still some confusion surrounding this. We had confusion about this whole Simpsons NLCS baseball thing until last night, once it was determined that Game 7 needed to take over. And I'm sure the animation people and the some of the people at Fox and the folks who work on these shows, like The Simpsons, are not happy today that they can't air these Halloween episodes until November 1st, probably. Because next Sunday is probably Game 5 of the World Series on Fox, and that'll probably happen. Going 4-0 is tough, and so they can't air the animated shows then either. How you doing on a personal level, Lights? You hanging in there? Yeah, yesterday was a good day because we've got the indoor theaters back, and there's new movies happening, and there's new shows, and Millionaire's back, and lots of stuff is back. And so what television and films do is give people a escapism from their crazy lives, and the more we get and the good quality we get, that'll help a lot of people. That'll help a lot of families. I watched this documentary the other night called Dear Santa, which is out on December 4th on VOD. And it's about the Operation Santa program that the U.S. Postal Service has done for the last 107 years. It's amazing. And if you watch this documentary, you will be impressed and inspired to help out and to do something, to volunteer, to adopt a family and read their wish lists and their letters to Santa and provide them with gifts for the holidays. People are going to need food, clothing, various items for their homes and their lives. And this is going to be a very tough year. And something like Dear Santa opens your eyes, and the Operation Santa program is amazing. So I highly recommend when that comes out on December 4th that you take advantage of that. This is going to be a very difficult holiday season for so many families. But maybe these television shows and specials and movies will bring some joy and some happiness and will get people through these difficult times safely, especially if you're going out to the indoor theaters, doing it safely, making it happen. A lot of new movies coming out this week. On the Rocks is on Apple TV+. Over the Moon is on Netflix. Rebecca is on Netflix Wednesday. I have seen Rebecca. My review is at lights-camera-jackson.com. Over the Moon is the latest animated film for Netflix, and the directorial feature debut for Oscar winner Glenn Keane. He did Dear Basketball with Kobe Bryant a couple of years ago, and I talked with Glenn about his relationship with Kobe and Kobe's influence on this movie and making this movie, which is a dazzling visual treat for animation fans. Has some heart, has some messages, has some themes and songs, but a very interesting conversation with Glenn Keane about Kobe, about working on this movie. New LCJ Q&A podcast episode tomorrow at lcj.podbean.com, lights-camera-jackson.com, and I'll put it out on social media as well as some videos. My full interview with Pete Docter, two-time Oscar-winning animation director for Pixar, whose new movie Soul is on Disney Plus Christmas Day. That is at youtube.com/lightscamerajackson. Did I like Rebecca? Go to the website and find out. I'll tease you with this. Kristen Scott Thomas is having a pretty good year. That's all I'm going to say right now. But we got another movie, Synchronic, which is out on VOD this week. The Witches is on HBO Max on Thursday. Anne Hathaway, Robert Zemeckis. I'm still hopefully going to check that out before it debuts on Thursday. What else? I'm missing something. Synchronic's a movie with Jamie Dornan and Anthony Mackie. It's got some sci-fi elements to it. That's on VOD Friday. Bad Hair, that's the other one. Bad Hair is a new comedy with some horror elements too from Justin Simien that is on Hulu this Friday. I watched this movie 2 months ago. I'm going to have my review of that coming up in just a day or two as well on the website. So a lot of films opening this week. And then a couple weeks of just about 2 or 3 movies each. And then November 13th, there's like 7, 8 movies being released. It's crazy. So yeah, a lot happening. We'll be back here next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern for, Borat 2 is coming Friday as well. I don't know. I got a lot of other stuff to watch. Sacha Baron Cohen. Sacha Baron Cohen, though, he's in the trial of the Chicago 7. And while it is a little challenging to see him not in a goofy role, he does have his moments. I don't think it's going to be an Oscar nomination performance. Again, the Oscars are so far away. But I think he's good in the film. It's not a nomination performance, but he tries. You could tell he does some things that are pretty good. My review of that, my rapid review, is on the website as well. So yeah, we'll be back here next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk Halloween. Maybe Charlie Brown will be on TV by then. Maybe. We'll see if an announcement is made. And as always, follow me on Twitter at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson, and that website is lights-camera-jackson.com. Thank you so much for being here on this episode of LCJ Live. I'm Lights Camera Jackson. See you next Sunday. Bye-bye.